what cover crops work well, and then, which vineyards do you combine best, what barrels to use, what barrels you combine best. So I think Aubrey has an incredible knowledge of the property, and that would be difficult to pass on. And it takes personal experience and working with all of those elements for many years to have a true understanding. And that's part of what makes Kanonkop so successful. And the other thing is that each of those winemakers have made a Kanonkop style of wine. They haven't made their own style, if I could put it that way. So if you taste through 40 years of Kanonkop wines, and you didn't know where one winemaker finished and another started, you'd be hard pressed to find, where one winemaker started and the other one finished, because there's such an incredible consistency and Kanonkopness, consistency of style through all of those wines. So the Kanonkop is a family-owned winery. Johan and Paul Krieger that own the property, two brothers, and they inherited the farm from their mom, who was a Sauer, and her father was Paul Sauer, and his father was J.W. Sauer. So it's a fourth generation family property that passed from the Sauer to Krieger family through marriage, and we've always kept things quite simple. And simple, I don't mean in a lack of complexity way. I just mean that we're really focused, and Johan always stipulates, that his ethos, he talks about being back to the future. So he does what he does well. We do what we do well. We don't try and reinvent the wheel. We don't have restaurants, hotels, big events, big functions. That's not what we're about. We're a winemaking property. We have a great cellar. We focus on red wines, and even more so, we focus on two great varieties, Pinotage and Cabernet. So we like to keep things quite simple and uncomplicated, and focus on what we do well. And I think that's had a very big impact on the business and on the cellar and how we do things. And I think it also puts us a little bit aside from some of the wineries that do a whole host of things. I mean, you can find wineries that do everything from sparkling to port, sweet and dry, white and red, and that becomes difficult, and it becomes complicated when trying to bring across a brand message and trying to build a portfolio. So I've always enjoyed Johan's approach in that, is that we do what we do and we do it well.